Hello, wonderful Year 10s. I'm so sorry I'm going to be away today on Monday because my daughter fell over and banged her knee and it's a bit sore and she can't go into school because she needs to rest it because we thought it was broken, but hopefully it's just sprained. Anyway, without further ado, I want to translate this to make it easier for you to all translate it during our lesson. Again, I'm going to highlight things. The only thing that I can't do is introduce you to the new grammar point. The new grammar point is called deponent verbs, and basically these are verbs that look passive but are actually active. So instead of having a perfect passive participle, having been heard, you have perfect active participles, like here, ingressus, which means having gone in rather than having been gone in. So, without further ado, I'll just translate this. Don't worry too much, I'll explain it tomorroor, but passive verbs, so now if you see a passive verb, for instance, ingressus that we saw here, ingrediebatur would not mean he was being gone in, it would mean he was going in. And we'll see a few examples of this as we go through here. Omnes Venusini. All the people at Venusia, fiebant, were becoming very anxious every day. Peores, comparative adjective, every day, worse news. Afferebantur, imperfect passive, worse messages or news was being brought back, worse information was being brought back, Roma from Rome. The Republic, labebatur, there's our first one. So labor there, instead of it being I was being fallen, which wouldn't make any sense, it's simply I was falling. I was slipping, I was falling. So it's not I was being, the Republic was being falling, which wouldn't make any sense. It's to do with transitive and intransitive. You don't know what that is. I'll explain it tomorrow. The Republic was falling into civil war. Imperfect. Passive it looks like, but it's actually imperfect active because it's a deponent verb, just as Flaccus had predicted. Scintilla was sitting in the house when a postman, ingressus, having gone in or having entered, so that's a perfect active participle because it's deponent. When a postman, having entered, tradidit, handed over a letter to her. She immediately broke the seal and quickly read through the letter. Commota, perfect passive participle, having been overcome or having been moved by terror. Ululavit, great word there. She shrieked, she shouted. Flaccus, profectus erat, deponent verb, looks like it should be pluperfect passive, but it's actually pluperfect active. Flaccus had now gone forwards to the garden. Proficiscor, you've got there, had now set out to the garden, rather than gone forwards, sorry. Progressor would be gone forwards. Flaccus now had, so it's pluperfect active because it's deponent. Flaccus had now set out to the garden, but when he had heard, temporal clause, the shouts of his wife, he ran back to the house. Ingressus, perfect active participle. Having entered, he said, what have you suffered? Not what have you been suffered. It's a deponent verb, everyone. What have you suffered, my dearest one? Superlative adjective, he said. Oh, my husband Quintus has left from Athens. He has followed. Deponent verb. Perfect active. Looks like it's perfect passive, but it's perfect active. He has followed Brutus into Asia. Flaccus said, what are you saying, my dearest one? He said, surely our son does not want to serve in the army. Illa, she said, he is defending the freedom of the Roman people, so he says. O dark day, O immortal gods, save our son. O Flaccus, summon Decimus, he will help us. Flaccus said, Quintus is not now a boy, but a brave young and good young man. He ought to carry out his duty. We are not able, prohibere, we are not able to forbid him to defend the freedom of the Roman people against tyrants. But if it pleases you, I will summon, future tense there, I will summon Decimus, purpose clause, in order that we may propose the matter to him. Flaccus hurried to the house of Decimus. He met him profecturo, future participle. He met him about to set out to Brundisium, but he persuaded him. As soon as I see that persuading, I'm thinking we're going to be dealing there with an indirect command. Sorry, there's my daughter just coming in here. 1 second, Nelly. He persuaded him to come with him to Venusia. Ingressi, having entered the house, they found Scintilla weeping copiously. Decimus went up to her and said, don't worry, Scintilla. Quintus, without doubt, soon, having returned to Athens, perfect active participle, deponent verb, will study again in the academy. War will not be waged, future passive. War will not be waged for a long time. Quintus, however, is foolish if he has joined Brutus. All of these civil war ideas where people are having to go and fight and argue, and brother fighting against brother, in this case brother-in-law fighting against brother or disagreeing. Some people would choose to be on the side of Augustus and Antony. Some people would choose, or Octavian and Antony at this stage. Some people would choose to be on the side of Brutus and Cassius. Quintus, however, is foolish if he has joined Brutus. For Antony is peritissimus, most skillful in military affairs, superlative adjective, and he has comparative adjective, better troops. When he has conquered the murderers of Caesar, the assassins of Caesar, it says there, without doubt he will restore the Republic. Now the Republic needs, literally it is needed for the Republic, impersonal verb, a brave man who will bring or will return peace to the citizens. It's all very American. Imagine those people going, what the world needs is someone strong, someone like Donald Trump, or people going, no, we need to do the decent thing and things like that. So this idea of sort of how easily fascism can happen. Anyway, now the Republic needs a brave man who will return peace to the citizens. I am going to set out to Brundisium in order that, purpose clause, I may join myself with the army of Antony. Flaccus, temporal clause, when he had heard these things, was not able to contain himself. What are you saying, traitor? Do you have it in mind to serve in the army of that tyrant? Ilias, genitive of the adjective, of the pronoun ile, illa, illud. Nihil ne, do you not care about liberty? Go away, don't ever return into this, in Grady, literally be unwilling to, but don't return into this house again. Decimus turned around and deponent verb, looks like it should be was gone out, but went out silently. Flaccus went to Scintilla and was trying, deponent verb, looks like it's imperfect passive, but it's imperfect active, was trying to console her, deponent verb, looks like infinitive passive, but it's infinitive active. She, however, did not stop weeping. How many misfortunes will we suffer, she said. Citizens will fight with citizens, future tense. Fathers with their sons. How many mothers will mourn for their sons? Mars will rage impious throughout the whole world. That's an example of metonymy. Metonymy is where somebody becomes a symbol of a larger idea. So Mars, substitute for war. Haec locuta, perfect active participle, deponent verb. Having said these things, she fell to the ground, unconscious. Very well done, everyone. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow when we'll go through all of this. Thank you.